don't like 2 minutes, but the things that happen in Major League Fishing, what makes this sport so much more intriguing to all you guys at home, you should just get in this format. Like, you know what everybody's catching, so it starts playing with your mind, then you get in a hurry. Hey guys, Jason Lambert, Major League Fishing Pro here, talking about Stage 2 Okeechobee. That freaking bird just tripped me out. So anyway, we're sitting out here talking about what happened in Stage 2, and we've got this blackbird that's just almost landed on her head over here. But anyway, Stage 2, knockout round, made it to the knockout round. Anytime that happens, man, it's a good tournament against this group of 80 guys. Obviously the day didn't go well yesterday in knockout round, but here we are on championship day talking to you guys a little bit on camera instead of fishing. So it was very simple this week for me. It was a hydrilla tournament for me. I won down here in 2016 doing the exact same thing, throwing a vibrating jig over hydrilla. The problem that happened this week was the wind. It blew really, really hard the first day out of the north, which was okay for me because I was fishing an area that was protected from the north wind. It changed around to the east on Sunday, and that made it really, really tough because it didn't really hurt the fish as much. But what happens down here on these big giant lakes is when the wind blows, it pushes the water around. So I had really, really clean water on day one, and then when the east wind blew, it pushed all that dirty sediment water off the lake into my area. And then yesterday, same kind of thing. It turned out south, but it just didn't have time to clear up. So the mud was in there basically. And Florida fish love clean water, especially when you're fishing moving baits. So for me, it was about a couple different things. It was a vibrating jig. This is a little 3/8 ounce vibrating jig because obviously I'm fishing really, really shallow, 1.5 foot with hydrilla, so you had to keep it up on top. I do it a little different. A lot of guys put a swim bait or a crawl on it. This is actually my jerky J. Everybody knows about, you know, the deep water fishing, the big scrounger head, but this is a 5-inch jerky J for a trailer. You know, 7.3 medium heavy ducket rod. A lot of guys throw a vibrating jig on too heavy of a rod, and they think, man, I lose a lot of fish on that thing. Well, the reason you're losing them is you're fishing too heavy of a rod. You need something with some tip. It allows them to get the bait before you pull it away from them. The other one was just a green pumpkin with a little bio bait trailer. You know, there's like I said, a lot of dirty water, so when you got into the more stained water, put a little color on them. You know, green pumpkin with this orange bio bait swim bait trailer. The one thing that almost happened, that was really happening in practice, was this wake bait. This is Noisy 105 from Hardcore. I caught so many fish on this thing in practice. I mean, it's just a little prop bait. I mean, you'll probably see on the show today that a lot of guys are catching, or I know a couple guys are catching them on top waters. This is basically a top water. It wakes the surface, but it's got the prop on the back, so it's noisy. In practice, before the cold front came in and the water got dirty, I was getting about 25 to 30 bites a day on this thing. Like, it was crazy good. So, you know, it's one of those things of what could have been, but at the same time, I mean, dude, a knockout round finish in Major League Fishing level against these guys at any tournament is nothing to complain about. So, happy with the event, happy with my equipment, happy with everything the way it went. I would love to be fishing today. We're not. I'm talking to you guys right now, but 2 weeks from now, we're at Lake Fork. Y'all know about that little place. I got a few little big ones in it. We're gonna go down there and try to have a really good tournament. It should work in my favor as long as the water don't get dirtied up. It's an offshore type fishery. I'm looking really forward to it. So 2 weeks, guys, y'all pay attention. Major League Fishing is going to Texas.